Whoa, before you buy that, why not check this out first? This is the FL Esports Q75. This is a 75% layout gasket mounted keyboard with a polycarbonate shell. The board comes with this keycap and switch puller with this braided cable. They're not the best in terms of quality, but we are here for the board, not the cable. Firstly, let's rip the bandage right off. The board is north facing, but most of the boards in this segment mostly are, at least some of the board in this price range. But let's talk about the pricing and the comparison later. So for now, you just have to pick your switches and your keycaps carefully to avoid interference. I have a video talking about what switches to get if you have a north-facing board or you're planning to get any in the future. It could be a great guide on what switches to buy. Go check it out. Let's talk about my favorite thing about this board. The polycarbonate plate or the whole gasket system in general. The board has a combined plate silicone gasket like the KBD67. The silicone in between the PCB and the plate is also the gasket of the board, and from first impression it is really bouncy. If you like a soft typing experience, this could be a great option for you. This would be a great pairing with heavier switches like the Gateron Blizzards, giving you a lesser impact, but for this I went for the Penyus. These are linear switches with a nylon top housing and a nylon blend bottom with long pull palm stem with 62 gram springs. These switches are inspired by the cream parkas or the black cherry pie, and they kinda feel like it. In summary, they feel almost like alpacas and kinda sound like it, but I prefer the feel of the Penyus because of the long pull stem. They are really smooth, stock, but some lubing will make it way better. Especially the sound. If you want torque, these are the switches to not go to. They clack rather than torque, but they are really good if you're looking for some alpaca alternative or you just like the cream parkas. Speaking of good, we need to talk about the stabilizers. I'm not sure if these are the FLCMMK steps, but I assume they are since they are the brand that makes them. But these are translucent whites instead of the alpaca colors. But even if it isn't, these are just seriously good steps. This is the first time I've done no mods to it and it sounds more than decent. The board is just impressing me more and more. Since the outer shell is this smoky plastic, I thought this DMG inspired set could pair well. The smoky plastic kind of reminds me of the clear Game Boys, and the DMG is inspired by a Game Boy. Speaking of the shell, this is one of the things that I was pretty wary about after taking it out of the box. I'm pretty sure that the glossy finishing is going to be prone to dust and scratches, and from the looks of it, it does. This material does make it look more high-end. It's like glossy piano black panels in car interiors. It looks good, but it is a pain in the butt to clean. Plus, you can only get it in this smoky grey if you get the bare bone version, but they offer a mint and blue version for the complete board, and it looks really nice. I wish they have that as an option for the bare bone version, but maybe in the future. Quick note, I thought you can't really open the shell. I tried my best with my strong muscular keep-on hands to open it, but it wouldn't budge. Until I had a problem with some of the hot swap sockets being too loose. I've been using this board to try out some switches and some of the contact points just didn't touch the pins. I piled through to open the board, and the board is really solidly built. Be aware of the sockets though. The board also comes with its own silicone bottom bedding and silicone PCB sheet. The silicone sheet is not as bouncy, but it does add some more padding. It's more jelly-like. You can take this off and add your own switch pads if you want, but I'm not going to do that here because I don't want to misalign it. But you literally get everything with this board. You don't have to go out of your way to get materials to mod it. It's all there. All you have to do is just build it. So let's do that. Okay, now let's talk about the price. I thought I could compare this board to the Infinity 75 or the Faker IK75, but honestly, this board is not in the same ballpark as both of the boards. Both of the boards can be picked up for around $30 to $40, and that is really good entry price for decent specs and average build quality. This, on the other hand, is not. I got this board for around $65, and that is a steal considering what I've seen the board being offered at around $90 to $100, which is almost more than double of what you pay for the other boards, which is pretty insane. At that point, you can just add 40 or more for a Portico 75 or get the KBD 67 Lite for like $20 more. The Portico even have a knob, or you can get the Lychee G80 for around $70 to $80, and it also has a knob and a brass plate option. Plus, it's south facing. Or better yet, get the Tiger 80 Lite, which seems like an amazing offer if you want a TKL. The FL Esports Q75 is a really solid board. Comparing it to the boards like the IK75 and the Infinity 75, this is miles ahead of what those boards offers. And the price does reflect that. You get what you pay for and maybe a little bit more, depending on the price you buy it. This board is in this awkward position between the enthusiast entry board like the Tiger 80 and the budget entry board like the IK75. It shares the price pool with the Lychee G80 and the NJ80, which is a bit cheaper if you don't get the other boards with the brass options. But even when comparing them to the FL Q75, this has a better build quality and it has a proper gasket mount that flexes like nobody's business. This board has all the essentials that you need in order to get the best on the board. If you can get it for a good price, you can essentially get an enthusiast entry-level quality board for a relatively good price, but the same can be said for the Gateron V1. Plus, it is south-facing and VR compatible. If you want a board that doesn't take a lot of effort to make it sound good, this is the board to get. Just switches and keycaps to make it complete. Yes, you have to be careful with your switch and keycaps, but even in cheaper boards, you have to consider this. And what you get in this board for me outweighs that con. Only if you get this for the cheapest price, but right now, the Gateron V1 just seems like the better offer with the better specs and the better price. That's all from me. If you like the video, give it a like and why not subscribe while you're down there. Stay safe and see ya.